So I just got done seeing Mickey 17, the latest film from Oscar winner Bong Joon-ho. Bong Joon-ho is one of the best filmmakers working today, and I always admire his sensibilities and his filmmaking style. The fact that he had teamed up with Robert Pattinson for this movie put it at the top of my list for 2025. Without further ado, let's jump into my review for Mickey 17. Mickey 17, a disposable employee, is sent on a human expedition to colonize the ice world Niflheim. After one iteration dies, a new body is regenerated with most of the memories intact. So the basic premise of the story has Mickey, who signs up to be an expendable worker and colonizes and helps colonize and kind of test diseases and kind of all the dangers of the new world. He is able to test that stuff and regenerate in this kind of regeneration chamber, this like science fiction scientist world that they live in. And he goes off with them and is able to do all of the expendable work and test the atmosphere and so on and so forth. The film is told primarily through a lot of exposition, at least in the early half, and usually that can bother me, but Bong Joon-ho seems to be able to write and visually tell you this story, so everything that you're hearing, like expository-wise from Mickey's character, is supported with visuals, and Bong Joon-ho is a master at this, so it never feels grating to me. Normally in other films, it can get really on my nerves, and I go, this deserves a little bit more care and a little bit more time, or they could have done it a different way. But for some reason, whenever Bong Joon-ho delivers exposition, I'm just locked in. I really admire how much we actually get to spend time with these characters. There's a lot of movies nowadays that just want to get to the action and get to the fun stuff, right? But Bong Joon-ho lets you sit with these characters. You're able to learn about these characters and the main character of Mickey here, where he goes through what he's feeling in every second of this movie, and you're able to relate to him and you care about him, and he's got shortcomings and you want him to, you're rooting for him basically, you know, and you feel sorry for him throughout the majority of the film. As you know, guys, if you're a frequent viewer of this channel, you know that something that's important to me in every movie that I watch and every movie that I think is made, that should be important, is character development, which takes a character from one state of being to another state of being, whether, you know, emotionally, physically, you know what I'm saying? There should be some sort of change. And luckily, that is here with our main character of Mickey. He starts out as somebody who's kind of down on his luck and has nobody really, right? He's a loner throughout the majority of the film, but as the film progresses, he learns new things about himself, he gains more confidence, and there's really not a big change in his character, but it's enough to really, for me, pack an emotional punch. The editing work here is masterful. All Bong Joon-ho movies are just, I think, perfectly edited. I mean, he probably spends so much time in the cutting room figuring out every detail, right? No shot is wasted in his movies. Every shot means something, there's a purpose for it, and that's what editing is, right? We call it trimming the fat, right? Or killing your darlings, as they would say, which is, you know, getting the tightest film you could possibly have, right? Each scene needs to tell a story and move the plot forward, and every scene here does. I don't think there's a wasted second of screen time. I mean, this is, you know, it's a perfectly cut film. I don't think you could delete anything out of this movie. It's about a 2-hour runtime, but it feels, I mean, it moves. I was never bored once. It moves really well, and it's not gonna be everybody's cup of tea. If you aren't tapped into the way that Bong Joon-ho presents his movies and shoots his movies, and the fact that it is a slower paced movie, you know, but I think that's welcome in a world and in an age where we just get so much rapid fire thrown at us. And a lot of times I'm watching movies nowadays and I go, you know, I don't necessarily feel connected to this character because movies nowadays don't take the time to properly set up their characters and get you emotionally invested, but here they do. The cinematography here was done by Darius Khoi. Darius Khoi also shot something that you may have seen, which is David Fincher's Seven, which is another great, fantastic film. So of course, if you have the cinematographer of Seven and you have Bong Joon-ho and you team them up with Robert Pattinson, come on. I mean, it is a match. It's a perfect match, and you get a beautiful film here. What I love about what Darius does here is he sits in moments and he creates compositions that are truly stunning and very beautiful. There's a whole section in the beginning where people are trying to sign up, right, to leave Earth and to go colonize the new planet. And there's kind of like these fanatics that are, you know, real supporters of Mark Ruffalo's character. And we see this beautiful spiral staircase, and the way that it's framed and the way that the people are just standing there waiting in line on this big spiral staircase. And they're silhouetted because there's big windows that are blasting, and there's like a dust storm outside. So there's a bunch of dust hitting the windows, but it's silhouetting all of these people on the staircase. It's very like MC Escher type of framing, and it's just beautiful stuff. I think what Darius is able to do here is truly beautiful, but it's minimal, right? It's not flashy. A lot of times, you know, you can feel the cinematography. A lot of times I either feel the cinematography and it's too much, or sometimes it's very bland and not stylistic enough. But what's great about when you watch filmmakers who are incredible at what they do, they attack it with intention. And that is the most important thing you can do when you decide to sit down and make something, is be intentional, right? In everything that you do, but specifically in filmmaking, is be intentional. You want to place a light a certain spot. Like right now, I have my muslin and my 6x6 unbleached muslin, and I'm bouncing the light off of my wall through the unbleached muslin. So it's two bounces, right? It's acting as a bounce, and then it's creating this big source, which the new source of light is the 6x6 unbleached muslin, and that is giving me a soft return on my face, and it's big enough that it's wrapping the light around my face, and that's intentional. That is a look that I'm going for, and that was purposeful. And then obviously the lights behind me and the red lights, like I set all that up, obviously. But all that to say that everything that you see on the screen should be the choice of the filmmakers, right? Nothing happens by accident when you're watching a movie. And hopefully, listening to me talk about this and review this stuff helps you kind of appreciate filmmaking on a deeper level. That's what my goal is here on this channel, is to maybe bring some insights into filmmaking that you may not know. Obviously, the standout for me here is Robert Pattinson. This guy carries this movie on his back. Bong Joon-ho and him together just do an incredible job here. The movie would not be I don't even think it'd be remotely good if Robert wasn't in this role. And this is perfect casting. You can tell that the way that Robert has grown throughout his career over the last 10 years, right? Proving to us that he is one of the best actors of our generation. I was not a big Twilight fan growing up, but those movies did him no justice. And those movies, at least from my perspective, not necessarily made it seem like he couldn't act. I never really thought that, but his performance there never blew me away. He was obviously Cedric Diggory in Harry Potter, and I think for me, since I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, that was kind of his saving grace, is I had seen him in Harry Potter, and I was like, well, he did a really fantastic job in that role. So I never really wrote him off. I was never really a Robert Pattinson hater, and then obviously he got cast as Batman, and I was really intrigued by that. I don't think there's been a bad Batman casting at all. I think Batman, every single person that's played Batman has brought something different to the role, and it's going to be interesting to see what Robert brings to the Batman role in the future Matt Reeves sequels. So I'm really looking forward to it, and he gives a great performance here. Do I think it's Oscar worthy come Oscar season next year? Probably not. I don't know if it's necessarily going to get him nominated, just because it is so far in the future, like it's right now, and the Oscars are so down the road that sometimes these early performances can be forgotten about and they don't really make it come Oscar time. So no, do I think he's going to get nominated for this particular role? Probably not. I think this is worth your time. at the end of the day, because I want to let you know that I am somebody who is pretty picky on what I go see. I'm not somebody that reviews movies, all the movies that come out. There are a lot of movies that I'm like, no, I'm gonna pass. It doesn't interest me, and I don't want to spend my time doing that. I don't want to spend my time on stuff that doesn't interest me. But I was intrigued by this one. The trailer looked kooky and fun, and the fact that, again, Robert Pattinson is in it and he plays multiple versions of himself, and the kind of what that story is, I was really intrigued, and I do think that it is worth your time. Overall, I recommend this for anybody that enjoys cinema or like quirky kind of independent cinema. I think this definitely falls into the camp. This is a big budget sci-fi, science fiction, not a ton of like action or anything like that. It's more of a drama. But if you like quirky Bong Joon-ho-esque type movies, I think you will enjoy this. Have you seen Mickey 17? If so, let me know in the comments down below, and let's have a discussion about what you thought of the film. If you want to support the channel and you enjoyed this review, consider hitting the like button and maybe the subscribe button. It helps out the channel greatly, and I enjoy the fact that you decided to come and spend some time with me and discuss, or watch me at least, discuss Mickey 17. I enjoyed this film. It was one of my most anticipated of 2025, and it did not disappoint. We have a lot of films coming down the pipeline that I am super excited to see this year, so there are going to be more reviews coming your way. Thanks again, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Take care and have a great weekend. Peace.